everyone to the Outtakes Movie Podcast. I'm Sam, and we are still going on a quest to go through every single movie ever made and objectively rank the best to worst of all time. Joined as always by my amazing team. I feel like actually I should be giving like a bigger ladies and gentlemen, Amelia.
I mean, it'd be very Looney Tunes, wouldn't it? But hey, yeah, I'm here. I'm here to get back in action. Oh shit, wrong film.
Oh shit. Oh, I forget about that movie a lot, you know.
See, that's the one I've seen more than the one we're about to talk about.
Oh, okay, well, fair enough. I remember Back in Action coming out, and you know when you used to get like toys in cereal. Back in the day, you used to get toys in cereal. They did a Back in Action promotion where there was like a rubber ball, like half a rubber ball, and it had one of the Looney Tunes faces on it, and you turned it inside out. And you put it down on a desk, and at some point in the next 2 minutes, it was going to fly in the air.
I remember that.
Used to love them, man. I think I had the whole set. Joe, what's going on?
None. Pretty chill, yeah.
Sick.
Down.
Sick.
Yeah.
And Jacob, how's things?
Things are good.
Nice. So, we are this week covering the just absolutely iconic movie Space Jam. I can't wait. So, before we cover the movie, we're going to go have a little step back in time to 1997, the year I was born. Oh, man. 21st of March. I was not even a month old. Wee babe. And what was going on in the world of charts, video games, and cinema? So we'll start with the charts. It wasn't great. There wasn't a lot that I even recognized here. And as the two that I do, they're all right. Number 6, Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison. That's pretty good. I still listen to that from time to time. And number 3, Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis.
Oh wow.
Oh, no.
Someone should just say that to one of the Gallagher brothers, you know? Maybe help clear things up.
That's true. How long do you reckon it would be before Space Jam, the song, appeared in the charts?
That's a good... I should have checked. I did not.
I'm intrigued by that.
I do know that a lot of this soundtrack did chart very well. Okay. And we'll get into it briefly as we go along. In the world of video games, you know what? 1996 was a weird year. I did not think these two things would be remotely coinciding. So on the Super Nintendo, Kirby Superstar had come out, which is regarded as one of the best Kirby games of all time. And I have not played it, but I've played a fair few Kirby games, and they're all really good. And the day after, Resident Evil came out on the PS1.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I did not think that the PS1 and the Super Nintendo shared, crossover in their releases, you know? I thought the N64 would have been way out by now, but there we are. And in the world of cinema, it was a bit of a sparse month, to be honest with you. Disney's Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco, came out. So that's good. As did this little movie called Fargo. I'm sure that's nothing.
God, that's a good film.
And as did Space Jam. So Space Jam, what is Space Jam? Space Jam is the totally real, non-fictional docudrama that tells the story of how Michael Jordan got back in the NBA and came out of retirement in 1995 after retiring in 1993. So last week we briefly touched on it. Who had seen Space Jam before doing it for the show and who had not?
Me.
Slightly, on and off on TV.
Okay, so for Amelia and Joe, how long has it been since you last watched Space Jam?
Oh, I've not seen it.
You've not seen it?
No.
Oh, mate. Okay, just for Amelia
just
then.
Me.
Yeah.
I feel like it was on TV either during lockdown. This year, it was recently.
Oh, right, fair enough.
It was like you and you flicking through something to eat, and I just had Zach behind me making tea. Oh, Space Jam, put Space Jam on, come on, Space Jam, and I'm just there like, no, there's other better things to put Space Jam on right now. So I got overruled in that way.
Wow.
So that's the last time.
This slightly reminds me of, so the last time I would have seen it would have been in 2013, specifically because I remember when I first met Charlotte, she told me she had not seen Space Jam, and I was like, you don't see Space Jam? What? We've got to watch Space Jam. And we watched it over Skype together, basically, and in the end, she just went, I'm sorry, Sam, that was truly terrible. I don't want to experience don't understand. Okay, well, Joe and Jacob then, having not seen it, but because, I don't know, it's a weird, it gets referenced a ton, you kind of hear the songs a lot. What were your preconceptions of this movie before going in?
I don't know. I got kind of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of vibes from it.
Of course, yeah.
Like
That's what I
that's
was
the kind of thing.
expecting more of.
That's what I was expecting.
Um, That's fair. That's totally fair. So, this movie came out in 1996. It has a crazy cast in it. So, as the poster says, Michael Jordan as himself, Bugs Bunny as himself. No one plays Bugs Bunny. It's Bugs Bunny's shown up. That's a weird thing, actually. So I remember seeing that on the VHS, and I remember seeing it on the poster. Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny, half their faces. And it just dawned on me recently that it's really weird that voice talent for these really iconic roles does not get like the credit that they really should, you know?
No.
Yeah, the only person that ever gets the
Bizarre.
credit is Mel Blanc, who first voiced him, didn't he? Like,
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
it.
and I feel like it should just like it's and this is the same for like anything that remotely involves like any form of like animation mixed with live action. I've noticed this. Like all of you could have happily told me that Shia LaBeouf is in a bunch of Transformers movies without even knowing what character he plays. How many of you can tell me who plays Optimus Prime?
no clue.
No.
He plays himself.
Exactly, Optimus Prime plays himself. Shia LaBeouf plays Sam Witwicky, and Optimus Prime showed up, plays himself.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing that goes on, and I don't fully know how I feel about it, but I think I don't like it. I think it sucks. It's like the time we watched the Star Wars Holiday Special, and I think it was R2-D2 that was playing himself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It was
Screw the little dwarf that sat in that tin can roasting alive. Like
Kenny Baker.
R2-D2 has played himself. So yeah, so it's Michael Jordan as himself, Wayne Knight of Jurassic Park meme fame recently, as Stan Podolak. We've got a bunch of NBA All-Stars in here: Charles Barkley, Sean Bradley, Patrick Ewing, Louis Johnson, Muggsy Bogues, all playing themselves. I only really knew Charles Barkley as a kid, and this movie briefly got me into the NBA. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really have a way to watch it when I was young, but it was like sometimes on Channel 5, like really early in the morning on a Sunday. And I went out of my way to watch it. And I didn't learn any players' names, and I didn't have a favorite team, but I liked seeing the ball go wee. We've got Danny DeVito as Mr. Swackhammer. That's his
Knew
character's
voice.
name.
He just plays
Instantly.
Frank from Always Sunny. That's what it is.
He's just
you know?
playing Frank, yeah. It's
just playing
100% Frank. And he's even got a team of minions doing his dirty
Exactly.
little deeds.
He's just rich with lots of money, expendable money. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's just Frank. That's all it is.
We've got Billy West playing Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, D. Bradley Baker, Daffy and Tasmanian Devil, Billy Farmer, Sly, and Yosemite Sam, and a bunch of other really, really talented voice actors that definitely deserve better, as well as Larry Bird and Bill Murray as themselves. So, yeah, the movie opens up. It's the distant past. Michael Jordan, young wee Michael Jordan. He's thinking about playing basketball. What a loser. Do you think I could ever play basketball and get to college? Son, if you play basketball, you can do anything. That's what his dad says. That's a weird... But he does say it. It's great. And then we hear our first really famous song from this. I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly. Uh-oh, time to move on. Let's not talk about R. Kelly. Oops. Oh, dear. That's not aged well. So, yeah. Michael Jordan, in 1993, retired from the NBA so that he could suck at basketball and play golf with Bill Murray and Larry Bird. Meanwhile, in space, on Planet Moron, the most boringest theme park in the world. Do you think maybe Planet Moron's issue was actually just naming? You know, a bit of a naming problem there. Who would want to go to Planet Moron? Maybe Planet Funsville? Planet Moron?
Yeah.
Maybe
Max and
that's
team
what it
let him down
means. It means Funsville in an alien language.
there. Maybe.
Maybe that's it.
So no one's showing up there. So Danny DeVito's like, we gotta get new attractions, and he tells this little alien army you've got of little tiny aliens called Nerdlooks, who are super adorable. Especially the little pink one that's like, oh yeah, Looney. Oh. I like the way he talks. I don't know, it just cracks me up. He's like, right, you got to get me new attractions. And they're like, okay, what if we kidnap the Looney Tunes and have them as slaves? And Danny's like, perfect. Okay, that's the plan. So then the Looney Tunes are like, right, okay, not about this slave business. We've got to find a way out of this. These guys, they are small. What if we challenge them to a game of basketball? It'll all be good. Stupidly, the Looney Tunes give them some time, to prepare. So what do the aliens do? They go to an NBA game and they steal the talent of famous NBA players, causing pandemic-level panic amongst the nation of America. Like, we are experiencing a real pandemic now, and people are not as panicked as they were for these NBA players.
Depressing.
So, yeah, they steal the talent, and they grow to massive size. So the Looney Tunes are like, what are we going to do, lads? I've got a plan. Let's steal Michael Jordan. So they suck him through a hole in the ground into the Looney Tunes dimension.
That sounded really bad. I don't remember that happening in the film, but yeah, sweet. Bugs Bunny here have to find a new career.
At this point, I'd like to pause briefly and re-ask Joe and Jacob, how are you feeling at this point in the movie, given everything that's gone on?
I mean, it didn't really faze me that much, considering that it was a bloody Looney Tunes thing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
I was trying to work out how it works, like whether... I mean, it's revealed later in the film, and I was kind of curious to know whether the people of Earth knew that the Looney Tunes are real, or like whether they knew that they were living in like hell, essentially. Below them.
That is where the Looney Tunes are based. Yeah.
When people die and go to hell, do they just go to the Looney Tunes realm?
They must do.
I mean, it's just
and
as
then
chaotic.
like maybe all the Looney Tunes are people who've died and went to hell, and they've been converted into these like weird versions of themselves.
So you're telling me there's a Hitler like Looney Tune out there?
Oh man,
and like,
probably.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
wasn't there? I mean,
that's Elmer
Disney
Fudd.
did like. Yeah, there you go. See, and he's.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I was gonna make the
Say
same
it,
joke, but
Sam will cut it out later.
I don't trust him. That could ruin a couple of careers in a couple of years' time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, there you go. That's the plot twist that should be at the very end. Is that it's actually just hell, and then when Michael Jordan gets sucked through the hole, he actually just kind of, dies.
I didn't like how weird like 3D Looney Tunes they were, when actually they're normally 2D, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's still 2D, but there's this extra level of, it feels like a shade maybe put on them that is rounding.
Do you know what it
them
feels
out.
like? You know when you're in, this is really really like niche, but you know when you're in Word and you decide to take your font and then you add like 3D shadow and then you make it like slightly risen in 3D.
Yes,
that's what they look like.
Yeah,
that is what they look like.
Exactly. And it was strange because they look 3D, but then later on they're like, oh no, we don't want to go to the 3D realm. And like, well, but you already are sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that because, like, in comparison to films like, especially Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which came out so long before this movie, would you say this was aged like worse, or maybe as well as in regards to its mixture of animation and live action?
I actually think this is probably aged a little worse.
I would say the same.
With Roger Rabbit, they just commit to it being 2D all the time. They literally just draw over the image, which, it still looks a bit clunky at times, but, it's just, they commit to it. Whereas with this, you've got the live action mixed with the bloody 3D bit, and then it kind of mixes the 2D in there as well, but tries to make them 3D. It's a lot of, back and forth. It's really weird.
Actually, that's true. When they went right at the start, when they go off into space and they show you like the theme park and everything, that 3D animation is god awful.
It really is
fucking atrocious. So that was also pretty bad. And then to have your regular 2D cartoons not be 2D, don't know. It was strange. As you say, Sam, I think Roger Rabbit has aged better than this has.
Yeah.
Yeah, ultimately. Oh, yeah. So, So Wayne Knight, I should have said earlier, is playing a friend of Michael. Well, he's Michael Jordan's friend, right? Don't know that it's a two-way street. So basically, on the baseball team, they're like, Michael sucks, but make him feel wanted. So they appoint Stan to look after him and everything. And Michael just got sucked down that hole. So what's a man gonna do? He starts digging. Man starts digging. Man commits. Man digs all the way into the Looney Tunes dimension. By then, Michael Jordan's been like, okay, I'll help you guys. I'll help you guys play basketball. But we're going to need a little bit of extra help. Here's my man Wayne Knight. And who's that over there? It's Lola Bunny to show up and be the sexual awakening of furries everywhere.
Oof.
There is, let's be honest, an extreme uncomfortability around the character of Lola, particularly how she's presented in this movie.
Was she made exclusively for this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's shown up in Looney Tunes media since this, but this was the debut of Lola Bunny, who was all just ass and legs and thighs and swooshing, and it's
uncomfortable.
Yep. She is the most. So, with all the players set, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the ultimate game. Both games get really big intros. There's a little mouse. He's like, ladies and gentlemen. It's great. I loved that shit as a kid. I don't know. It's just, it's such an easy joke. What if the little mouse had a big voice?
Yeah.
Comedy
it's
fucking
like,
gold.
They do the opposite, don't they, in like a bunch of stuff. So like, the only one that comes to mind is that bit in Pirates of the Caribbean 3 where they're all at the big meeting, and then that guy's having all these bros talk for him, and then at the very end he stands up and says, oh, we're going to go to war, but he's got like a tiny little like mouse voice, but he's this like huge, massive dude with like a mad beard, and like just makes me laugh every time. Same joke, just switched.
Literally.
Yeah.
They all get big introductions, right? But like, it's the Monstars. That's their team name, the aliens. The Monstars, they dominate in the early game, with only Michael really able to like pull them through. So the Toons are all deflated because, you know, they're about to become slaves, and they're not really about that. They're like, oh, this sucks, man. We're getting demolished. What are we gonna do? And Michael Jordan's like, come on, you can do it. And they're like, yeah, sure, mate. But Bugs has a plan. Bugs gets Michael's special stuff. And Michael's special stuff makes Bugs muscly to the way too uncomfortable delight of Lola Bunny. And he shares around Michael. Everyone has a swig. Everyone has a swig of Michael's special stuff.
What is that? What are you doing?
Everyone.
What are you doing?
Has a swig of Michael's special stuff.
Jeez.
Wow.
I think you're watching a different version of the film than we were. I'm not gonna lie here.
And they're ready to go into the second game and employ some better tactics. So what they do is they employ some typical good guy moves, like, for example, loading the enemy basket with bombs, shooting someone's teeth out with twin Desert Eagles. But it's fine. It's winning, because who cares? Doesn't matter that you shot your enemy in the face, because you're at least scoring. So things are looking up, right? However, right, near the end of the game, Danny DeVito's like, time out. I don't like that I'm losing. So Michael, what are we going to do? Michael's like, okay, I'll do your deal, right? You got to give all the NBA All-Stars their talent back if we win. But if you win, you get me. And Danny DeVito's like, Michael Jordan as a slave. Adds something I like. Good. This is good optics. This is really good optics for my business. Okay. You're on, Mike. So the Monstars are like, sod this basketball game for like, let's just try and murder everyone. So they go on an extreme rampage, ending with the truly haunting shot of Tweety Pie in an iron lung, which has never quite left me, No. It's quite a visceral image, that.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember, like, when I watched this movie for the first time, this little story about where I grew up. So my grandma was friends with this woman who almost everyone knew in town. I can't remember her name now. And she had a VHS collection that, no joke, was like, the scene in Hot Fuzz when Nick Frost opens his DVD case?
Yeah.
That was this woman's, every movie you could think of, she had it. And she just lent it to everyone in town. That was it.
Wow.
You can sod Blockbuster, sod all these places that are charging you money. Just borrow the movies from me, forever. But like, if you steal one from me, you're never doing it again. That's it. That's the rule.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick. Yeah.
So I would borrow Space Jam ad nauseum when I was young, to the point that my grandma just decided to buy it for me to save us having to keep going back to this lady's house and pretend to give it her back just so that I could have it again. just to make that kind of exchange. And that scene always made me uncomfortable, as did the next scene, right, where Michael's like, right, okay, we need a fifth guy. Stan, get on the field. Last minute addition. They instantly flatten him.
Oh yeah.
And replace him with CGI balloon Wayne Knight, who fights his way back to normalcy.
But like, is that any more uncomfortable than the bit earlier on where they turned Michael Jordan into a basketball, and it's just his like face is just stretched onto like a cylinder object, and it's
horrible, isn't it?
It's so weird.
I feel like they might be both equally bad. Like, if the animation live action has aged a little bit iffy, this stuff has aged.
Oh yeah.
Terribly.
Yeah.
It's 1997. Why are you trying to CGI a full human being?
God, yeah, I'm just really looking at it. It's genuinely making me feel a bit ill.
It's his eyes.
Just not right. I was gonna say they focus on the eyes so much as he's getting inflated, and it's like, you can't. The text, it's not there. It's not there. This is really uncomfortable. This is a kids' movie. You're raising the age rating every single second this is on screen.
Yep.
So yeah, with him out of the picture, Michael needs a fifth man. What's he gonna do? Jacob, you've not seen this movie before. What's he gonna do? How's he gonna get his fifth man? Did you have any guesses?
I
wasn't expecting
idea,
Dan
honestly.
Aykroyd to show up. That's for sure.
Like, to be fair, by this point in the movie, I'm just kind of like well, it just didn't faze me. But it wasn't because it was thingy. It wasn't because it's a Looney Tunes film like it was at the beginning. I've seen it all by this point.
It didn't faze you, Joe, that Bill fucking Murray has shown up in the Looney Tunes dimension. How did he get there? How did he know it was going on? So many questions. The best part is how he doesn't even sort of walk into it. He just goes, hey guys, and then they cut, and he's there in front of his green screen going, da 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 da. And I'm supposed to accept that as normal.
It's Bill Murray though.
Well, that's it. I'm just...
His Ghostbusters money's starting to run out by now.
I do kind of feel like Bill Murray, keeps getting tricked into movies. You know what I mean? And
he's just too nice of a guy to say he doesn't want to do it. Like Garfield.
Garfield's a great example. He thinks he's working with the Coen brothers because one of the writers has the last name Coen, and no one bothers to tell him it's not them.
And then
was he in
doesn't...
Zombieland as what? Is it Zombieland?
He was in Zombieland
he plays himself.
Yeah.
As himself.
And then
I think that one was thinking
murdered. Spoilers for Zombieland. Sorry.
I think that one was... He was in that voluntarily, that's a first. He plays himself.
Yeah, I think at this point in his career, I think post Garfield, he's like, I'll just do anything. I just did anything. I'm the mug who really thought the Coen brothers were making a Garfield movie. You know, that's what he has to admit. It's not. It's fine if you want to pretend I just thought it was a Coen brothers movie. You knew it was Garfield, Bill. You knew it was Garfield.
Yeah.
Muppet.
Oh man.
In terms of people just kind of like other names floating around and people showing up in this movie and whatnot, there's a couple of interesting extra names of people who either were asked to be part of this movie or were thought to be part of this movie or wanted to be part of this movie, and it didn't happen. So Wayne Knight's character was originally thought of as two other... the studio wanted two different actors instead of him. I personally couldn't see either of these working, but before I throw it out, based on the character you see, do you have any actors in mind of who you think they might be wanting?
I'm not very good with actors and that from the 90s, really.
That is a good point, yeah.
How famous were they?
They are very famous. Both these names
Will
are extremely
Smith.
famous. It is not Will Smith.
Okay.
The guy... I forgot his name. The guy from he's from a bunch of stuff. He's from I can't remember any of the films he's in. He's in Home Alone briefly for that bit, and he helps the
Donald
mum get
Trump.
home.
I was about to say Donald Trump.
No. The guy in the first one, he helps the mum get home. I forgot his name. He's in a bunch of other stuff.
What else is
Oh
he in?
my god, he's like a really big actor from the 90s, isn't he?
Yeah. Wait. Let me see if I can find the thing.
Yeah,
again.
give it a Google because he did. He I'm pretty sure he died of cancer or something, which is why like everyone like feels like he was taken away just as he was doing good or something. I don't know the full story, but
he's in Trains, Planes, and Automobiles as well. That's the big thing that he's from. What's his name? John Candy.
Oh, I was just about to say, for some reason I had in my brain, I had like, wait, is it Uncle Buck? And
yeah.
Oh,
that's
Uncle Buck.
the
That's
one,
exactly the. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I haven't seen any of these films.
You'll recognise him if you saw him, though. John Candy.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
So John Candy would have been an excellent shout, actually, for the tone of this character who's bumbling and just wants to help out. And John Candy would be an excellent shout. So they wanted Michael J. Fox.
Died, by the way. Mad? Weird?
As in
Michael J. Fox.
Whoa.
As in Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox, and
That's
Chevy
weird.
Chase.
Which one's that?
From National Lampoon, the main character from National Lampoon, and Pierce in Community.
Yeah. That,
You'd know him if you saw him. He's also in the You Can Call Me Al, a music video for no reason.
What's he called?
Chevy Chase. Chevy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know. Yeah.
I can picture him doing
really
it more
sarcastic
than
guy.
Michael J. Fox.
Yes.
Yeah.
However,
It would
I do
be-
not know how Michael J. Fox and Chevy Chase's names ended up remotely close to one another.
No, very different.
I imagine if it was like, especially with Chevy Chase, it'd be a different. He wouldn't be so desperate and pathetic like
Yeah.
the character is. It'd be an entirely different kind of character, I reckon.
It'd be Pierce from
Chevy
Community,
Chase.
I imagine.
Yeah. The other name that stuck out to me that was weird that for this movie was someone who wanted to be a part of the production of the movie but was stopped, which was Spike Lee. Actually wanted to
Weird.
Spike Lee wanted to help with the screenplay, but Warner Brothers blocked it over a feud they were having over the funding of Malcolm X.
All right.
Okay.
And it's probably better for Spike Lee's career that he's not remembered as the guy who helped write Space Jam. But how amazing would it have been for Space Jam if it had Spike Lee as one of its credited writers, you know?
See, you say that though, and then like James Gunn wrote the Scooby-Doo
That's
movie.
what I was
just about to
thinking,
say it'd be
yeah.
like that, yeah.
So it wouldn't necessarily have been. It would have been a weird point in history, but
On the topic of like points in history, has anyone checked out? If you haven't, I don't blame you, but I would advise you to. Has anyone checked out the official Space Jam website, which is still up and running?
That's the thing.
I've
no,
heard
we'll
that it's
do it
still up and
now.
running, but I have not checked it out.
Spacejam.com is essentially a time capsule right back into 1996. Amelia has just seen it. If you have access to the internet right now, I advise you to type it in. It is exactly formatted the way that sites were, with like a site map, and it's got all these weird little icons to take you to different sections of the site.
I'm
It's
pissed that
very
the cursor's
strange.
not like been changed.
I was gonna say, how good would it be if the cursor was like flashing or something
That's
and
Jam
animated?
Central. You made
Central.
it. Jam Central Station. The central depository, whatever that word is, for all things Space Jam. From the best seats in the house, you can peruse the production notes, find out all about the filmmakers, check out the theatrical trailer, and look at a bunch of photos from the film. Wow.
Yeah, right? You can download screensavers as well. Get on that. Free
Amazing.
Space Jam screensavers at spacejam.com. That's a spawn. Thank you, Warner
Warner
Brothers.
Studio Store.
Spacejam.com.
It takes you to
I
the
love
Warner
how-
Brothers shop now.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's a shame. It's not
I would
good.
hope they're still producing Space Jam official merch.
Shall I have a look? I bet it
Of course
does.
they are.
While you have a look, we'll round out the last bit of the plot. So, 10 seconds to go. What's going to happen? How are we possibly going to win with 10 seconds? Well, it's fine, because our man Michael Jordan is having the on-set nightmares of CGI Wayne Knight, and he's like, okay, let's repress that, but before we do, what if I can do that? So he starts flying, and then all the like in the song, thanks R. Kelly. No, I'm not thanking R. Kelly. Don't thank R. Kelly. He starts flying, and all the monsters start dogpiling him. But he's like, it's fine. it's fine because I can make my arm stretch the entire length of a basketball field, and it goes like it actually makes the sort of stretch sound effect. It's quite horrible, but he dunks it in, and he goes, yes, now I can unretire and rejoin the NBA. But first, I must show up to my baseball game in a spaceship, and everyone will applaud me for it. Like a river, and that's Space Jam. So that's the spot of Space Jam. Amelia, do they make Space Jam merch still?
They do. You guys are going to be a little bit disappointed though, in the sense that all you can buy now is there's a DVD called The Stars of Space Jam Collection Volume 1. So basically like all the shorts with the characters from the film. So basically a Looney Tunes compilation. The Space Jam and Looney Tunes Back in Action double feature DVD. Okay. As well as 2 different baseball caps. One that just says Space Jam and one that says Space Jam A New Legacy. I don't know if that's the new film that's coming out.
Oh, that's the new one.
That is the new movie. Yeah, well, there we are. There's
that's all it's in the Warner Brothers store these days.
The next talking point is as
on the website.
Sorry, go on, Joe.
You can actually on the website. I don't know whether they still have the accounts active, but there's a section on the website where you can go and look. There's a big list of all like the producers and stuff, and it gives you their like company email, so you can just email the producers of the film. Yeah, so you go onto the website, right? It literally just says like it's like a star icon. See if I can find it. It's not on. It's weird. I couldn't find it on the thingy. If you go onto the Warner Brothers store bit, and it comes up with all the bit down the side. At the very bottom, there's like a yellow star. And it's like, this site has been brought to you by the following people. As all the people, and it gives you their email addresses, so you can email them.
Oh, man. The power. And I don't know how to use that power, but I want to use that power.
I can't see it on the Warner Brothers shop site.
Right, when you go on the
Space Jam site.
So it's not, when you go on the Space Jam site, it's not there.
Right. So
for me, I'm going on the Warner Brothers store, and when I do that, oh no, shit. Hold on. It's took me directly to the store. Oh. Did I get like a thing?
Go back, Joe. Go back. Get those emails.
Oh,
let's send them a
happened?
movie pitch. Joe, let's send them a movie pitch. This can't possibly go wrong.
Oh, no, you know what's... Wait, hold on. You know what's happened, right? I reckon... So on mine, I clicked on the Warner Brothers store, right? And it didn't open a new tab and take me directly to the store. It just stayed on the website. It came up with a white screen, but like down the side of the screen had like all the options still, so I could go to the... But at the very, very bottom was just a star. And I clicked on that because it had no label under or anything. And it came up with all the pictures of people who designed the site and the names and stuff, but I don't know how to find that now because it's fixed itself.
Ah,
man, I briefly had a glimpse into thingy.
We had a foot in the door in Hollywood, and it's gone.
I know.
Already.
That was it. That was my
fleeting
opportunity. Site map.
Exhilarating.
You only got one moment to make. I was
I found it again.
It's gone. It's back. Back.
No, right. Go onto the main screen, and it says site map at the very bottom.
Site map.
You go to the very bottom of that page.
Never on the internet have so few worked so hard to bring you so much in so little time. Donald Buckley, executive producer.
You click on his name, it gives you his email.
Oh yeah, Donald.
Wait, are these Hollywood producers, or are these just the producers of the site?
It might just be the producers of the site. No,
because
I don't know.
I was thinking this. I was like, wait, why do you want to go and email the people who made a Space Jam website?
Wait, should we have a look? Here we go.
I feel like someone needs to email them and say, hi, we're doing a podcast. We just want to know if you work for movies or just digital designer, assistant to the digital designer. I think it's just...
Hello, Donald. Do you make movies?
Or
Love
just
from
websites.
Sam.
Right, Donald...
I can't find the list of producers.
What a thrill ride this has been.
I was going to say, this is... Let's investigate this in extra time. For now... Right, I'd like to ask you all, as people who have either watched this movie for the first time or have re-experienced this movie willingly or unwillingly, who is up for the sequel / who thinks it's even a good idea to begin with?
I think I was up for the sequel. After watching this, I'm less up for the sequel. Because Space Jam was just... All I knew about it before watching the movie was, it's got this mad good song, and it's the Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan. That's going to be such an incredible film. I haven't seen it, but it sounds amazing. Are they going to do another one? Yep. That must be incredible. It has to be amazing. But now... I don't know.
I think it's weird because the original Space Jam, I think everything that makes it work is entirely wrapped up within the 90s directly. And the fact that it takes the really weird angle of actually trying to use this universe to explain why Michael Jordan came back to basketball, is a really fun kind of gimmick. And doing a movie where the best you can get out of it really is LeBron James and Bugs Bunny interact for a bit because LeBron James is also a basketball player, was a basketball player. It's not really got the same, LeBron's not telling me to eat a Big Mac instead of doing drugs,
Yeah.
Like, LeBron's not selling me
Not yet,
shoes. No. We'll get there. I don't think it's got the same appeal, personally.
It's this film. It's very because especially over here. I don't know what it was like in the 90s. I know basketball, you can get it much easier now because you get like the streaming sites where you can like watch it live and stuff. But it's still not that big, even over here. And especially, I imagine in the 90s it was even like smaller. So people like over here, even then, would have been watching the first one for the characters, not really the sport. Yeah, maybe get some people watching for the sport, but yeah, it would have been. It's a very American film in a sense that the sport is, American in a like entirely like. Do we really have basketball? We do, but we don't.
Yeah, it'd be like if they made a Looney Tunes movie where they interacted with NFL players. It would similarly bounce off a lot of us.
Yeah.
Fair. Well, with all that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to go round in a circle, give any final thoughts we have on the movie, and each individually give a score out of 10. Then I'm going to use maths to see where it ranks on a list of the best to worst movies. Hoping for a high score here, boys. Amelia, kick us off.
Hello, yes. Yeah, like I say, I think this probably means a lot to people who either, like say, grew up in the 90s or the tail end of the 90s, and kind of watched it as a kid, so therefore, like with my boyfriend, there's that nostalgia there. But when I watched it, because I don't have that nostalgia, I was just like, this is a really weirdly badly done CGI movie. So for me, as someone watching this, like as I hate to say it, an adult now, ew, that's disgusting. For me, it didn't hold as much nostalgia and love, and so I'm just going off the fact that as a movie and something, if I was to rewatch it again, I'm going to have to unfortunately give this a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. Jacob?
I'm going to be echoing a lot of what Amelia's said. All of my mates who love this film, I feel watched it when they were like the target audience age for it. So only still love it because of that nostalgia. I have no nostalgia for it. I'm not the biggest fan of basketball. I didn't recognise any of the people other than Bill Murray and Michael Jordan who came on. I was like, oh look, there's a person. Are they acting? Are they an actual person? Are they playing themselves? What? Looney Tunes, I get it. I never really watched it that much as a kid. I didn't watch too many cartoons in general, so I couldn't even name all of the Looney Tunes characters that were there. I was like, oh, there's the little small dude who's like a gladiator, but he's got a brush on his helmet or something, and he's the ref.
He's an alien.
Marvin the Martian, bro.
I wasn't sure if he was a Martian or whatever.
He's a gladiator.
He's got one of them gladiator helmets on.
Yeah, the design's a bit confusing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Marvin the Martian.
To be fair, I used to get confused just verbally, not visually, but verbally, between Marvin the Martian and Martian Manhunter from the Justice League.
Yeah, I think because I've also had this film built up in my head for quite a while, and it's just been like a thorough disappointment.
Oh my god.
I wanna
His life changed.
It
Remind me
was.
to never disappoint Jacob ever again. That
My
was
God,
so
he's
depressing.
never going to be able to trust the
It was
movie
so
ever again.
disappointing. I was like, oh, that was this movie. I'm gonna give it a 5 because I was gonna go with a 4, but Bill Murray, I think made it a 5 for me because I like him and he was funny.
Yeah, fair. Joe?
I mean, I'm probably going to say a lot of the same stuff, but like, I mean, yeah, I watched Looney Tunes, but like, I was more of a Disney kind of guy, so I'd be able to name a lot more of the Disney characters than I would the Looney Tunes characters. I don't really watch, like, Warner Brothers stuff like that I kind of watched was like Batman and stuff like that, Justice League stuff, but not really Looney Tunes. Like Looney Tunes when I was younger, I guess, but I feel like for this, it's very much what like Treasure Planet was for you, Sam. Where because me and like Jacob and stuff had watched it when we were younger, we had that nostalgia there that made it be like, oh man, this is so sick. But for you watching it brand new, it's kind of like, it's only okay. I think that's the same thing now. So I think films like this, they're good for the people who have the nostalgia, but for the rest of us, it's kind of like, yeah, it was alright. But like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, you know what I mean? Because you've got the nostalgia there, so you've got your fans who really love the film, and it wasn't a terrible film, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'd watch it again.
We've certainly seen worse on this show.
Well, yeah, it's I didn't feel like I'd necessarily wasted an hour and a half, but at the same time, I also feel like I'd have done something more useful with my hour and a half. Don't know what that could have been, but yeah. So I'm probably gonna give it. I don't want to give it a 5 as well, so I'm gonna give it a 6 just to be different.
That was a reluctant 6.
I thought you were going to go lower and do 4.
Same.
Nah, because I mean it wasn't terrible. I didn't hate it, so I don't want to. I was thinking 4, but yeah. Michael Jordan tried to be an actor, so I'll give him that. And he's not terrible.
To be fair, I was just going to say, Michael Jordan is not that bad in this. In fact, it's weird, a large chunk of the cast list, when you look down the credits, it literally just says themselves when they show up. It's pretty hilarious. And I'd say it's only really the extra NBA guys that like aren't that great, you know? Basically everyone else here has turned up. Even Bill Murray in a weird way is, he's turned up in his own strange
well,
way that he does.
I'm going to give it the 6. It's got Danny DeVito in it. So
it's got Danny. Danny is absolutely here.
This
is
the first beginning. This is the formation of Frank. So, you know what I mean? This is where he starts to play that character.
Frank origins.
So there you go.
For me, this movie is an incredible portal into the dimension that is the 90s, where movies like this could happen and no one batted an eye.
And you can go into the Warner Brothers store and buy a shit ton of merch for it.
Right, the Warner Brothers store that used to be in Manchester. Have you seen the fucking pictures from that?
There was one by me as well when I was a kid. I don't fully remember it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because when it's technically spiritual successor, Back in Action came out with Brendan Fraser, it was a totally different time, like 2005 2004 or something. Like it felt like quite had the same fever for that movie as this movie, even though that movie is equally as like balls to the walls. There's a fucking Dalek in that movie. Like they just threw everything they could at that film. And I think if Back in Action, the exact movie that is Back in Action, was released in 1993 or 1998, it would be fondly remembered like Space Jam is. And it just simply came too late. The music, one particular artist definitely withstanding, is phenomenal and completely carries like huge chunks of this movie. The animation's like badly dated, but I find that frankly hilarious. It like almost adds to the charm of this. I like that I can always see a slightly green outline around Bill Murray and Michael Jordan in every shot they're in. It's holding the jankiness together with just the slightest bit of sellotape, and I'm here for that. It's almost become its own janky hole for being a literal gap in the space-time continuum. I cannot not give Space Jam anything but a perfect 10.
Are you serious?
A score I reserve only for the best movies, the movies that give me the most joy, the movies that put the biggest smile on my face. Space Jam is a perfect 10 out of 10,
Bloody
which
hell.
gives it an overall score of 65 out of 100.
It got over 50.
Jesus.
So I have to ask one by one. Amelia, do you prefer Space Jam or The Witch?
The Witch is better filmmaking every time. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go.
Did you actually end up watching The Witch?
It's on my Halloween list. It's on my Halloween list.
So you
Can we
prefer
really
a film
trust the opinion of someone who
not
hasn't
seen?
seen one of the movies?
Okay, it's Space Jam. Are you
Jacob.
As someone who has seen both movies,
Fuck off.
I think I'm going to have to go with The Witch as well.
The Witch. Joe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with The Witch.
Yeah, I would like to outvote you, but I cannot. Space Jam is officially the 32nd greatest movie of all time, which places it 2 places above Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, exactly where it should be.
God.
I'm so sorry, film Twitter.
What's below this? What's the one directly below it?
Below this is Castle in the Sky. I
mean, that did have like mild pedophilia in it, so like.
True. Nazi pirates.
Yeah.
Go check that episode out. Nazi pirates.
We have decided that we prefer sexy bunnies to Nancy pirates.
Oh no.
So that brings us to the most important part of the show, and that's finding out what we're going to be watching next week. Amelia, let us know.
Well, I'm very sorry to say there won't be any Nazi pirates in next week's pick.
What a shame.
I do hope, Joe, this will be a good use of an hour and a half of your time. Now,
I hope so.
I've stuck between 2, and I'm going with this one solely because I feel like there's more to talk about. We can really have a laugh with it, and it's going to get you guys back into the autumn mood. So this is technically not a film, but is a film in the sense that I don't know 100% if it was aired in episodic or if it was aired in one. But either way,
I think I know what this is.
if you watch it all in one, it's only about an hour and 20 minutes. All in one, and I have the DVD, so you can all borrow it off me.
Oh, I know
as long as I get it back. If I don't get it back, I will straight up come out and find you. We're going to be watching Over the Garden Wall.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Let's get our spooky spook back on.
What is that?
So
really?
I'll give you a couple of names, right? So same friendship group as the guys who made Regular Show, Gravity Falls, and Adventure Time. Elijah Wood's in it. Doc Brown is in it. What's his name? His name's you know who I'm on about. Christopher Lloyd.
I thought you meant Doc Brown as in the guy
literal.
called Doc Brown, the comedian.
No,
Sure.
yeah, thingy. And also, Tim Curry is in it. The guy who plays Rocky Horror Show. And also John Cleese. Those are a couple of names for you. So.
Nice. Oh my god.
It's that Jacob. It's that little cartoon fellow with a red hat on.
Mm-hmm.
A red little pointy hat.
And Greg with the cat on his head.
Oh.
I think it's on Netflix.
Is it on Netflix?
Okay.
Oh, even better.
If
not, we have ways.
Okay, yeah, this just screams Amelia to me.
You're going to get to the end of it and you're literally going to be like, I hate him.
If you'd said that Amelia thing, okay, I'm with you now.
Oh, see, that means a lot to me. I'm not even offended by that. No, but honestly, there's so many techniques and things that I can't wait to talk to you about from like a film point of view as well as like a TV point of view. So I think you'll enjoy talking about it.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. There's some really good shots in Space Jam. There's some really dynamic camera angles I was a big fan of. Thanks very much for joining us on this episode about Space Jam. Let us know what you think of the episode and the movie in the comments down below. If you've been watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like button, comment button, notify button, the report button. Don't report us. Hit all the buttons on YouTube. And if you've been listening to us on your favorite podcasting apps, hit whatever the corresponding follow, subscribe, comment, delete. Hit whatever buttons
delete.
most appropriate. Not delete. Don't delete us.
Delete.
Whatever button's most appropriate to you.
Stay.
Play from beginning. That's what we want.
Yes. Play infinite loop at 0.5 speed.
Oh my god.
And you can contact us if you want by hitting us up at the Outtakes Movie Pod at gmail.com. Send us anything. I don't care. Well, I do care.
Almost
don't send us like illegal things, but send us
dick pics.
yeah, preferably
Or any nude pictures.
Maybe the odd one. No.
Send us your pumpkin carvings. There you go.
Is that a euphemism?
I want some pumpkin No. I don't know what you get up to on Halloween nights, but definitely isn't that.
What else? Oh, Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us to get updates on new episodes about the show and cool things like that, and polls and all sorts of cool things that we do at The Real Outtakes. Oh, and also if you want to find us if you've been listening to us or watching us and you want to find us on your opposing things, just search for the Outtakes Movie Podcast and we'll show straight up. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.